It's a beautiful town, people. I think this is a beautiful town. Look at how everything just flows nicely along the roads. The industrial area that is just very prominent in this town. I think the way this whole area just turned out, I absolutely love it. It's been a while since I've looked down at a build of mine and thought to myself, wow, this actually looks pretty good. And this is one of those. I absolutely love the way this turned out and how it looks like. How's it, everybody? Welcome back to Coral Reeches. It's Sanctum Gamer here. Last week, we got a brand new mod that came out. And I think it is pretty awesome for a lot of the detailing that some of us have been crying out for the longest of times. So with this new mod, we got Decals, which is absolutely awesome, and a whole bunch of other stuff which I haven't really subscribed to. I just subscribed to a couple of the ones that I find I am going to want to use the most. And of course, the first of that is definitely Decals. And I've gone ahead and placed a whole bunch of them down along this railway, this rail yard. And I think it adds quite a bit to the entire area overall. Now, I didn't go completely crazy in the live stream that we had last week. We just got the mod, got a couple of these things, and we started plonking a whole bunch of them down just to have an idea of what they look like. And I think the decals just dirty up things a whole lot better. We also have things like cracked pavements, cracked ground, whatever you want to call it. So I've got a whole bunch of them. This asset is absolutely amazing because placing it down right next to things like these giant tanks really adds to the life of the entire place. So that is pretty awesome. And then of course we got a couple of new like posters and stuff, and I wish I could find some of these. Here we go. And we've got things like this for good old Moose. I think this looks very awesome. Then there's a whole bunch of them. We're just playing around with one or two, and because during the live stream I had people like Moose in there, we had people like Cuboid in there, we decided to pull out a whole bunch of them and stick them out. But yeah, there's a whole bunch of these assets all over the place. We got some stuff for City Planner, for Bifa, and for Kodiak, and I think these are really cool. So I'm excited to keep using a lot of these detailed out assets. You get a new, what's this thing? Menu item over here, and a whole bunch of them are stuck in here. You've got things like, where is it? Oh, here we go. I was even playing around with, we're putting down some of these like mossy type things, which I think just helps add so much life to places like this. And it just helps make the whole place look a lot better. The only thing is that a lot of these are very small, which is going to be it's gonna take time to place a whole bunch of these down, right? Only thing I wish for is that we had like really big ones, and we've got a couple that are fairly large, but you know, it's not like they are super huge, unfortunately. But in time, I'm sure we'll get big decals and things like that. And then, you know, there's all of those, what's this thing? Poster walls. There we go. A whole lot of these poster walls. I think I haven't downloaded the graffiti stuff. That's why we don't see it here. But we've got things like the cracks, and all these cracks are also quite tiny, you know, relative to what I would like to do. These cracks are quite tiny, but there's like this weird animation as well that happens when you're moving these things around, which make it a little bit trickier to place, especially when you disable things like snapping. So like you have to be careful of what you disable, otherwise, you know, the rotation of this thing just goes around all axes, and it just looks kind of funky. So, you know, there's, I guess, a combination of using this and playing around with these snapping tools can really help bring or make it easy. And then you've got that, right? Like, everybody, let's look at this. Like, we've got water waves, We've got water waves, and how awesome is this? How awesome is this? Now, They're unfortunately not designed for these curved areas, but you can get away with it if you use the slightly smaller assets to do, this sort of stuff, which I think overall just adds so much more. This now is how we build beaches and stuff. I think this is where I'm going to enjoy building my next set of beaches, because it's just gonna make everything just come alive a whole lot more. I think that is so cool, and I'm sure in time a lot of these are going to become animated, which is just going to help make everything even better. Another thing I've noticed, I don't know if there's a patch update or whatever, but I see I'm getting a whole lot of high rent again, because I've got the land value overhaul mod, and for whatever reason when I boot the game up now, all of these just suddenly pop back up. So I don't know if those are game updates that I missed, but at some point I think I'll remove that mod and see if that helps. If not, it's kind of a bummer that I'm starting to get all these higher rent again, which is not cool. But anyways, order of the day. So what I want to do is I want to extend out this island a little bit and build a little area of entertainment over here. So I want to put down the, what's this thing? The castle. I want to get the castle down in this area somewhere. I think this is it. I think the medieval castle. Yes. I want to get it down here somewhere, and then I want to build like a little golf course around it, just to make this an area of entertainment. So that's something that I want to do in this video. And then once we have this complete and all is done, I'm considering putting a train station somewhere around here. And the idea is that train station will connect up to all of these other ones and ultimately link to this town, so that the trains coming in this area can have a way of people jumping off and going into this town. So that's what I'm thinking. I'm not sure if I'll be able to get to the station today, but let's see. First order of the day though is to get the island at least in place. So I'm going to bump things up a little bit over here. Ooh, I think that's too much. And I'm going to extend out this island, just make it a little bit bigger. And what I want to do is I want to make it a chain of islands that are connected. So over here we'll go ahead and then make this a little island of its own. And my thinking is I want to create like a, what you call it, like holes on the golf course that you have to hit over the water. And I think that is just going to be super dope, right? So imagine you get here, you cross, you got your tee box here, and you have to get all the way over the water to this area. It's going to be interesting to see what the distances are. This is 300 meters, so probably a par 4 or something along the lines, just to add a little bit of challenge and variety to the course. It's probably not going to be a full 18 holes. I don't think I can fit 18 holes here, but a nice 9 hole around here. So the idea is this whole area is just a nice big amenities thing, and then we'll probably end up building a nice bigger course somewhere else closer to the big city that we are going to build. So with that, let me just shape up all of this island and maybe even get the medieval castle down and start laying down the foundations of this entire place. Alrighty, so I think we've set out the foundations of the island and what I think the overall area is going to look like. I have not done any measurements, right? Something that I probably should have kept in mind when I was doing this, that if I am going to build just a 9-hole, I have to make sure that it's not too long. But given all of this, I don't know. If we tee off here, we make it a nice long par 4, I think I should be able to fit 9 holes here. So far, this is where we are at. What I wanted to do is to get this to actually cross this area. So I want to get a road, because this is going to be how I'm going to connect things up to this part of the world. So I wanted to upgrade this to, let's say, one of these. And I think at this point I want to stop it from bending. Right, so let's just get rid of these for now. And I do believe this is going downhill. Yeah, it is. So I'm going to we're going to delete that. And what I'll do is I'll grab this level and set this area to that level as well, which I guess it's almost the same. So ooh, goodness me, you know, when you think you've got a great idea. Actually, you know what? Let's do this. Let's connect up these two over here. And then we'll get this to cross maybe as a bridge. I don't know if I've got enough space to be able to do that. But let's see. Let's get it to 11. Let's see what that looks like. So at 11, it's looking a bit too high. So let's decrease that. Okay, I'm trying it at 8 with Anarchy. And then I want to see if, yeah, I think that is fine. And then I should then be able to drop it. Why is it not straight? Like, really? But then from here, it looks straight, doesn't it? Or is it just me? It looks straight. Is this just the perspective of the fact? No, it's not straight. It is definitely not straight. All right, I think that is a lot better. It's still not perfect. I still have this chap, you know. I think if I can grab this node, let's have a look at this. Let's grab just this node and shift this node a little bit. And I think that should help with the alignment. How's that? I think my brain can accept that. My brain can accept. All right, everybody. I think we have a straight-ish road now. I want to get this road. I'm going to hug the outside of the island. And then we're going to get here. We will cross. And then we will come all the way around and connect it up. Let us connect up everything. And then we'll start building and detailing out the area. Alrighty. We've completed a little residential area in this space. This was completely unplanned. As I started building out this place, I just zoned a little house and I thought to myself, well, I might as well convert this whole area into a golf estate sort of, or at least a little estate sitting on the side of the golf course. So we've built out just this area. I'm using as much as possible the beach properties because I think those will fit very nicely in this area. I'm probably going to come and rough up a lot of the terrain a bit later. But for now, this is where it is. I've decided I'm going to keep the golf course contained into this entire place. To spill it over into this area was going to require, or would require, more than 9 holes. And I don't think I have enough room to be able to fit in another 9 holes unless I'm going to start crossing the land. And I don't want to do that. So we'll keep the golf course contained into this area, and I'll see. I think I'll convert this place also into more of this residential expansion, and then sort of just try and blend everything together. And then also this way, the golf course doesn't have to cross the road, which I think, generally speaking, will be safer to all of the golfers. We'll put the clubhouse somewhere around here. I'm not 100% sure what asset I'm going to use yet, but it will probably sit in this corner. But overall, here's how everything is looking. Oh, by the way, if those of you with a keen eye, you might have noticed that a lot of my thumbnails have changed. And that's because I got this new mod that has basically better thumbnails. Essentially, apparently, from what I think, was it Cuboid or Moose told me in our last live stream, that the community got together and they went ahead and basically took screenshots of every single asset in the game and converted them into images of this nature. So every single asset has been redone so that it has a nice image associated with it, which I think is super awesome. That's why my trees also look different, because they actually look like what is in the game. So big shout out to every single person who was involved in that project. We are reaping the benefits of it. I think it is super, super awesome. I love it. I think the new thumbnails definitely stand out a lot better. But all right, so this is where we are at. I'm not going to continue the development here just yet because I'm not sure if I'm going to extend the residential areas there. What I am going to turn my attention to now is to start setting up things like the clubhouse, and then we're going to go ahead and build out the entire golf course around here. So I was about to get started on the golf course area here when I noticed that these 2 houses have been abandoned. So I had a look at them to see why they've been abandoned, and this one has been abandoned because of the walking distance to elementary school. Guess what? It's exactly the same for this one. So I decided, I was looking at this and I've been wondering what in the world I could use as the clubhouse, and that of course gave me the idea that I can use the elementary school. And if you know anything about clubhouses, they generally tend to be quite elaborate and big and all sorts of stuff. So I figured, let's go ahead and let's plonk this down as the clubhouse. I think that should work very nicely. It should fit in this corner, and we can go ahead and give it a full upgrade. And I think that then should help satisfy the need of some of these people. They can grow back. And I'm pretty sure if they had that complaint, a lot of these other people would have probably had the same complaint at some point, and we might start getting abandonments. So now we've got ourselves a clubhouse. I think that's a very good fit. We can I think we can extend this out a little bit further and put a roundabout right at the end of the road. Still on Anarchy. Put a roundabout right at the end of the road, and that's how they turn. And then I think now we've got the space to be able to fill in the course and everything. So the footpath will then start from this area. We can maybe extend the land a little bit and create a little area at the back. We can put some putting greens at the back here. And I think overall, I think this is a beautiful asset to use for the Oh, come on. Yeah, there we go. That's way. I think it's a very nice asset to use for the clubhouse. I think it fits in very, very nicely. But all right, with that done, I think let's start detailing around our new clubhouse and get going with the golf course. All right, cool. I think we can take a little stock of where we are at. So we've built out the first, how many holes are these? It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 holes. So we've built out the first 5 holes. And I figured let me take this opportunity to just explain what my thinking is and how I'm laying this thing out, and then we'll go ahead and complete it. So this is hole 1 coming from the clubhouse. These are your practice putting greens. So this is where you do all of your warm-up and stuff. I don't know if I'm going to have enough space to maybe fit some kind of a mini driving range here. I will see how it goes. Probably not. But these are your putting greens. From there, you head over onto this. This is your first hole. And it's a fairly long hole, if you ask me. If I take this and let's say the white tee boxes are here. This is a 171 meter carry to the end of the fairway, 181. And you've got a 205 meter carry on the water. So I'm thinking this can rather be a par 5 instead of a par 4. So for those who are not able to do the carry, they can lay up, then carry the water, and then hit the green. But for the long hitters, they can carry, and you have a beautiful eagle opportunity. So that's the first hole. I'm thinking maybe par 5. Then you've got a hectic dog leg right or dog leg left over here. If you want to try and carry the trees, you can try your luck, but it's not going to happen. So that's the second hole. The third hole is over here. This is meant to be quite a long par 3. As you can see, it is 174 meters. So for the amateur player, you can imagine the white tee boxes being somewhere around here. That is, almost a 200 meter par 3. So it's a nice, challenging, long one. Then I'm thinking this is also a par 5 where, you tee off from here, you set up, you can go ahead and try and carry this water if you feel you can. It's not that much of a carry, so it should be an easy carry given a lots and lots of eagle opportunities. But you can also just lay yourself up here and then go ahead. So that's the thinking. Those are the holes that I've set up so far. So assuming that these two are par 5s, then everything here has to be a par 4. But I'm gonna have to see how long the holes here are. I may just decide to convert this back to rather a par 4 and just take your chances with the water, or lay up, approach the green as close as you can, and hopefully you're able to get an up and down. So that is my thinking. That's what it's all looking like. I don't think I'm going to put any water hazards on the actual course given where it is. So because of that, the lack of water hazards, I figured I will make use of a lot of bunkers instead. So bunkers become the main challenge of this. I mean, imagine approaching this green with all these bunkers everywhere. You can't afford to be too long because then your ball is swimming with the dolphins. So yeah, that's the plan. Gonna go ahead now. We're probably gonna put a par 4 lining the river or the water over here. We'll have another par 3 here, fairly short one. Then I will probably have either a long par 4 or par 5. We'll have one that will come back in, and then the final one that will bring you right back to the clubhouse. So that's the thinking. I think so far so good. Let us continue and let us finish off this golf course. All right, I think we've set up a golf course, right? I think that kind of looks like a golf course from afar. I think the only thing is I don't think there are enough bunkers around this green. So this green, let's give it a few more bunkers. Bunkers really are the only obstacles on the course. So let them basically surround every green and give you just that little bit of a challenge when approaching the green. You need to be a bit accurate with your shots. Otherwise, what's the point? Alrighty. So we've got that. I decided when doing this par 3, it's a very, very short par 3. You probably have like a wedge in over here. That's at least the idea. I think if I'm not mistaken, it's like 130 meters, right? At most. Yeah, even less, 112 meters. So some people might even be hitting lob wedges in here, man. So it's a nice short par 3. Accuracy is key. Place is just surrounded by bunkers. You can't afford to duff a shot here, otherwise it's in the water. And then over here, I figured this will be the par 5. So this we can consider a nice longish par 4, where this is where you aim to land your ball. It's a very narrow landing area, but it's fairly good. And then you approach the green from there. And then we've got this this short par 5, let me rather say. So you've got a potential layup area. You can try and carry this bunker if you want. But yeah, so with this being a par 5, then that is a par 4. We've got our 2 par 3s, and that should make this a nice round of 36 holes. And I think overall it has come out very, very nicely. It's come out way better than I thought. I think the only thing is it is quite a flat course. So, the challenge is it's nothing. Wow, this is meant to be a fun little play that you have. But let's go ahead and let's just put a little bit of like angulation and stuff on the course, just so we say, you know what, over here on this specific fairway, that is insane. That is way too high. Let me just level that a bit. Okay, you know what, I'm not going to go too nuts about fairway undulations and everything, but I think that should be all right. I think the only thing that would be nice is if I could maybe for the bunkers specifically send can I undo that? Nope, we do not have undo on this thing. So that is not cool. Let me put that back. Let me see if I can lower you a bit more. Then maybe we can get just a little bit of down. Send it down a little bit so that at least there is a dip or two in these areas. Otherwise, what's the point of having bunkers there if they're going to be super easy to get out of? But yeah, I think that's something I'll probably do this off camera to give this place a little bit of life. Another thing that I was doing is I learned this technique I saw it from Sally. I think he said he saw it from $2.20, and it's really cool because with this, I think this comes with the Anarchy mode or tree controller mode. I'm not sure which one it is, but you're able to lower the tree down to a certain height, and then once you place it, it's underground, and then it looks like nice bush, brush, whatever you wanna call it. So this allows some nice shrubbery, and I'm using this as the rough, I guess. But it's a lot because I have to place these individually. I can't paint them on, because as soon as I activate the paint or the brush tool, then it loses the elevation. Now, I think I remember Sally saying something like this is something that he's also requested for us to be able to use the brush. So we wait. But otherwise, I think this is really, really cool. It closes the gap, right, on those low-lying bushes that we want but are not there. At least with this, we are able to do stuff like that, which I think is pretty cool. but I think we need to just close off the golf course completely with the trees. So I will be going around. I'll probably be off camera. It might not even be today, and lay down all of these sort of I'm gonna call them shrubbery type things, so that they are all over the place along the golf course. And then in certain areas we get the ladies' tee boxes that sit in slightly different locations. They're not too many. More often than not, I figured they'll just tee off from the front, and in these extra long holes I give a separate tee box for the ladies. I think this would be a good place to maybe put something like a tennis court, because usually these clubhouses have these like amenities, all these extra functions. Why is my delete not deleting? I've messed up something with my bulldozing tool, and now I can't seem to delete the individual items. Let me figure this thing out. Okay, so when I deselect all of these, then I can go ahead and delete the items that I want. All right, at least now I know. All right, so I was thinking, I can't remember what else we have. I don't know if we've got like a basketball court. We do have a basketball court. Okay, that's nice. So we can put a basketball court maybe over, let's turn off Anarchy. We can put one over on this side and maybe another one over on this side. Right? And I think that's helpful. This makes the place look a little bit better. I wasn't really sure what to put over here, so I had just laid down all these trees in the hopes that at some point I will figure out what to put down, and I guess that point has come, and so we can go ahead and just sort of close this all off with okay, what's overlapping? I don't care. Anarchy, please. And let's go ahead and plonk that. Cool. So now we've got a few more additional things over here that people can enjoy whilst at this country club. So this is a small 9-hole. The plan is that I'm going to build hopefully a bigger, probably 18 holes somewhere in that area closer to the city. But for now, I think this does a very good job in getting a decent understanding of how I'm going to build things like this. And the next one will definitely include water hazards and stuff. I've got the water features tool, so it should be easier to do that. So lastly is the spot, right? And I am not 100% sure what I want to put here. So instead, what I'm going to do is, looking around, I don't have a park maintenance building anywhere. So I'm thinking I will go ahead and grab my oak tree, and we're going to spam this place with a couple of trees, and then we'll stick the park maintenance down, so that at least we have a park maintenance building. And then at some point we can decide what we're going to put in this area. And I think this place looking all nice and green actually adds to the overall look of the entire island, and I think it all comes together very, very nicely. So you can imagine these roads were built here with the idea that some form of development is about to begin, and maybe I'll get into a live stream, or if somebody has some ideas of what they would like to see in this spot, drop it in the comments, and I think we can then stick something down. But I mean, overall, I think the green space around this entire area looks quite nice. So let me go ahead at this point. I think let's get rid of that. And I think we can put down the park maintenance building maybe over here. So as you enter, you get to see this, I don't know, some kind of an entrance building. Maybe this can pass off as a restaurant or something in the area. And I don't think, oh, we can upgrade this. Oh, that's big. Is it a side building? Yes, these are side buildings. Great. What are these? These increase space to house more vehicles. Okay, cool. So these can then go around and sort of give me more functionality. So we can go ahead and do that. Nice big building of something that's city. I think that adds very nicely to the whole place. And maybe if I put this here, this can come off as we can pass this off as a cinema. Right? Yeah. There we go. So we've got a cinema or something over there. And maybe what would be useful is, I was thinking maybe we could put down perhaps a parking spot or something here. Oh, look at this. Oh, okay, there it is. Maybe we can put like a parking area just over here. Let's just see what it looks. Oh, no. No. That definitely is not cool. Not cool. So let's get rid of that. You know what? We will leave it. Maybe in a live stream we'll figure something out and detail out the area. But I think overall, this place has turned out very, very nicely. The only thing I do wish is that when we are doing these, that we could get the option to make them curved instead of them always being a straight line, because I think that will help make sort of these transitions a lot better. But overall, I think that has turned out quite all right. And yeah, I'm very, very, very happy with that. Overall, everybody, I think this has turned out quite all right. Got a nice, beautiful golf course. I think it looks very nice. It has added to the overall look of the region. I think aerially, I love the way it stands out, and it's definitely a beautiful complement to everything. If you enjoyed it, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button if you've been here a while and you haven't done so already. And don't forget to turn on the notifications so you don't miss any future episodes. Big thanks to all of my YouTube members and patrons for all the extra support that you continue to choose to show the channel. It is truly, truly appreciated. As we jump into the cinematics, I hope you enjoy the beautiful scenes of our new golf course island, and I shall catch you all in the next one. Cheers, everybody.